Hey, what's going on, people? How you doing? This is my second video to my Jehovah Witness experience. In this video right here, pretty much I'll be talking about fear and how Jehovah Witnesses use fear to pretty much get the best out of their members in their organization. And so I know for me, when it comes to Jehovah Witnesses, they got the best out of me. You know what I mean? Once you got the mind, you got the body, as I always say. And so yeah, I did my field service. I went in to do the watchtower meetings. I pretty much did it all they asked. You know what I mean? Um, because pretty much it was fear driven. You know what I mean? The assembly halls, giving talks, all those things. Um, if you don't do none of them things, pretty much a good chance you're going to die at the great tribulation of Jehovah's Witnesses. So, with that being said, I pretty much had a healthy fear of the organization. You know what I mean? And that, if I don't do what was right in Jehovah's eyes, which is really organizational eyes, that I was gonna die. You know what I mean? And so this is pretty much what they teach people, embed it into their brain. They did it to me. You know what I mean? What woke me up is that I started looking at the world. I started looking at their fear tactic because it said that the world is getting worse. That's the whole premise too of their whole preaching. When you look at the watchtowers and the wakes, there's always somebody in distress. You know what I mean? Somebody that needs help. And so pretty much they try to paint a picture of the world is getting worse. It's not getting better. And then they point to a scripture in the Bible talking about violence, wars, pestilence, famine. All those things are happening. And so my thing is that stuff been happening since the beginning of men, since they've been here. Wars, pestilence, violence. You know what I mean? And so I asked myself, is things getting worse? And so I'm like, I don't think so. I just think that's human nature. You know what I mean? There's good people and there's bad people. And then I start asking myself a question: what time of era would I want to be born in? Especially in America as a black man. Like, would I want to be born in slavery times? Because if I was born in slavery times, I'd probably think it's the Great Tribulation, or Jim Crow times. Like, which era is so better than it is now? You know what I mean? Is Bible times better than it is now? Like, cause Bible times, those motherfuckers had it hard in the Bible times. You know what I mean? That's how you got the Bible. It was really bad back then. So now that we in this era right now, 2021, how can we be worse than we was in the past? You know what I mean? I started looking at it that way, and you know, we are not. We just human nature just takes its course. You know what I mean? The same thing that's happening in Bible times is happening now. It's not getting worse. It's not getting better. It's just the way it is. That's just my perception, the way I see things. You may see it differently, but that's how I see it. That it's not getting worse. It's just the way it is. Like my man Tupac said. So at the end of the day, man, like Jehovah's Witnesses use their fear tactics and it works. You know what I mean? If you don't have a strong mind, and I didn't have a strong mind, I had to build my mind up. So it's definitely eye opening when you really sit down. You sit back and think and question the religion. It's hard to do because if you question the religion, they automatically you know look at you differently, and you're not supposed to question the organization, which they say is Jehovah, but it's really the organization. So you have to definitely take that jump, that leap of faith, and do what's right for you. You know what I mean? Not what's right for organization. So that's my video on fearlessness or fear. You know. But next time, I don't know. I think my next video gonna be on apostate, and I found it very interesting how Jehovah's Witnesses got their own definition of apostate, and the dictionary got a very different version. So why do you have two definitions of apostate? You know what I mean? So that's probably will be my next video. But hope you enjoy this one, and peace and God bless.